Come on. Come on, come on. You see, I'm breaking out of this darkness to enter in this marvelous light. No longer wallowing in perilous plight. Hello, encouragers and encouragees. It seems like it was only a few minutes when I talked to you because this is like timed over a period of time. But the last time I spoke to you, I mentioned something about getting an extra job, and I was excited because I had to do a mouse pad for somebody, and I also had to do coffee mug for somebody, and I was really really excited about it, and I still am sort of excited about it. But I had to stop and tell you that stuff is not always what it's cracked up to be. And I wanted to tell you while I'm feeling it. Okay, this is what's going on. Even when you work for yourself, or even when you're doing jobs for yourself, it's harder sometimes than it is working for somebody else, because you deal with the front and the back end of stuff at work. If something goes wrong, yeah, I might have to deal with it for a little bit, but I pass it on to my supervisor, or I pass it on to somebody else who's hired to deal with those issues. When you work for yourself, you deal with everything. Okay. Now, I just went out of my way to do a nice favor for someone, and I gave them a decent price. I took this at a last minute. Normally I would charge more at the last minute to do something like this, but I went ahead. I was being polite and being nice, and I said, hey, I can go ahead and do this extra job for this particular price, basically $20. Okay, because what I had to do was so simple. And the thing is that when you respect your customers, you also have to not forget to make sure your customers respect you to a certain extent. What do I mean by that? If you tell them, if they ask for a particular product, okay, or ask you to make a particular thing, you need to be honest with them and let them know what it is that you need from them in order for you to be successful in making them happy. Okay, my clock just, if you heard that, just said it's 3:30 in the morning. And I think the last time I signed on, it was like maybe 11 something, and I was thinking that the job that I had to do was going to take an hour. No, it took longer because she gave me pictures and I made the collage and did everything that I said I would do. But she didn't do what I asked her to do. And again, I respect my customers, so I'm not revealing a name, and I'm not even holding a grudge. I'm not even angry. This is just sharing so that we can all learn from these things, because this is business. But I asked my client to type to me, or text to me, or write to me, or email to me what it was that she wanted on the substrate, and exactly what she wanted, and how she wanted it. I always ask people to give me liberty to use my common sense and my creativity on how to place pictures, because sometimes things don't always line up the way, a person might think in their head, oh, I want this here and this here, but it doesn't always line up that way. You can do it, because they're your client, but they're going to end up not being happy with it. Sometimes it's because of color scheme. They might want something to be a certain color. They might say, I want something to be blue. I want the letters to be blue. But everything in the collage might be orange and black. Like the person might be have on orange, and the background might be a sunset, or everything else might be black that they have on. And to make letters blue probably won't go over big. Now, usually my rule is I'll give them what they ask for, okay? But if they don't ask, I like them to leave me room to be creative. I just heard something in my house, that's what I was thinking. But anyway, I like them to leave me room for creativity, okay? If they don't leave me room for creativity, then my hands are tied. Okay, so this person, I asked them for what I needed. I needed the person's name. I needed whatever they wanted written. I needed a few pictures, so I can go ahead and make this collage. I already told them, hey, it's late. I'm going to go ahead and do the best I can. And the person was like, well, send me, I don't care what time it is, send me a copy of whatever you come up with. So I did, okay, after having toiled over this for like 2 hours. And keep in mind, it's 3:30 in the morning. I have to be at work at 8. Okay, so I'm still up. I'm still doing this, and this is only a $20. I'm doing like a $20 favor. Well, normally, if somebody wants me to do something at the last minute, there's an extra charge. Okay, now I know I'm talking like I've done this recently and I always do this. I don't, it's just from my memory. I used to charge people extra, but a lot of times I was nice then. I say, oh, that's okay. Well, don't always say that's okay. You need to get paid for your time. My price personally is $25 an hour. And right now, I've exceeded that times three. Yeah. So this job now is not a job. It's not even a favor. Now it's a burden. And so the person actually looked at the work and said, hey, can you change this? Or, oh, could you have that? Or I really wanted this there. Or I really wanted that there. But what they failed to do was do what I asked them to do, which was to show me what they wanted. When the person called me, they were like, oh, I don't have time. I don't feel like typing it up. Can you just write it down? You got something to write with? So I wrote what she said. Okay. But I don't like doing that, because if you want a comma or you want a period at the end of something or explanation point, I'm not going to know that based on, unless you tell me. But see, I don't like word of mouth. I like you to type it to me or write it down. And because in 1 or 2, a lot of times doing this kind of stuff, you find yourself working after midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. It is indecent to call anyone at that time. It's just you, the computer, and the work, and now you got to guess. So that's why I always ask people to write down or to type up what it is that they want. Okay, so you have to respect your customer, but your customer has to also respect what you need in order to be successful. I just had to put that out there. So anyway, I'm going to cover up part of the face of the person who I'm doing the work for, but this is basically I don't want to show people's faces and stuff, but this is basically the job that I just did. Flash, okay. And I think it came out pretty good, but I had to change it before I actually had printed out one of my sheets, which costs money, see, and I printed it out because it's a late job. So when you do a favor, a person's they're at your mercy. Well, there's a difference between doing a job and doing a favor. I consider this like a favor because it was a last minute thing. So I have to go back and I have to think about how I want to handle these situations next time. I think that when it's business is business, okay? No favors. If you ask me to do something and it's the last minute, you're going to have to pay the last minute price. If I ask you to do something, you're going to have to give me exactly what I asked you for, or it's a no-go. Okay, so I learned a valuable lesson. I just wanted to share it. I still have a coffee mug to make to go along with this. And so this is really, I'm losing. Time is money. And so I feel like I'm losing, but not really, because this is a lesson and I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. So I just wanted to share that. Something to think about. Okay. I'm happy with the work that I did. I don't know if they will be, but I am. Okay. Good. It was a good $20 favor, but it really wasn't worth my time. Okay. So that's all I had. I won't be signing back in tonight. I don't care how this mug goes. I will talk to you all later on. But thank you. And stay encouraged. Encourage me. Please. Stay encouraged.